Doug, I honestly think that we have invited the perfect guest to join us in Starkville this week and get us excited about spring training, the WBC, and the return of baseball. It is Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, live from Clearwater, actually live from the golf course in Clearwater. Kyle, give us an update on where you are right now, man.
Well, we are on hole 3 of a great adventure, which I like to call golf, because it's an adventure for me every time I play. Going to find balls in the trees and stuff like that. But no, down here in Clearwater, playing with some of the boys. We're excited. We're getting everyone down here. We're excited for how this year is going to be, and we just got to put in the work. And if we keep doing that, and we play our brand of baseball, we're going to take it.
All right. Well, are you allowed to tell us who else is in your group on the course?
I got JT.
Phillies are going to win it this year.
I got Bryson and Stubby over there. So we're over here playing some golf over here countryside, and
Nice.
just enjoying ourselves.
All right. Well, it's a good group. I'm jealous. All right, okay. Let me start with this. You show up in Philadelphia. The Phillies go to the World Series. The Eagles go to the Super Bowl. So you're aware this doesn't happen every year in Philly. But I guess you probably heard that someplace, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's kind of hard to, the cool thing is, right, we had 3 major sports and championship games. And, that's something to give the city something to cheer about, but also too, we want to finish the job for them. And know that we're not satisfied by that. I think that's the biggest thing, is that the hunger is real here, in that everyone's showing up excited to spring training, but also with a little chip on their shoulder as well.
Yeah, well, this is actually a great topic, because we just had a Super Bowl involving a team from Philadelphia that kind of turned out like the World Series in a way. And, maybe you can help the psyche of millions of Philadelphians just by offering some insight into how it is that people like you process the experience of getting so close to winning a championship and then not quite finishing the deal. I mean, you guys were up in the World Series 2-1. The Eagles were up in the Super Bowl by 10 at the half. What is it like emotionally when that doesn't end the way you hoped it would end? Does it stay with you all off season? And when that next season starts, is it forgotten or is it fuel?
It's a great question. I mean, it's definitely going to stay with you. I think we had a lot of guys have their first one in the postseason, but also too, for me, being back in the World Series and now losing it. Your first experiences. My first experience was winning a World Series, and just knowing how great of a feeling that was, and just going in and you're up 2-1, you're not assuming anything. There's still more games to be played, but we put ourselves in a pretty good position there, and going into the next game, getting no hit, then having a heck of a game in Game 5. I thought that was one of the better games in the World Series, and then obviously losing in Game 6, it stings and it stays with you. Those are the things that you keep in the back of your head, and you have that feeling for when you do show up to spring training. That's what we're working for, is to get back, not just to be there, but to win it.
So it doesn't go away, right? It's always there.
It does not go away ever. Trust me. Like, I think that'll stay in the back of everyone's heads for sure. That when we, especially, now that we're playing everyone, that especially when we're going to go back to Houston, it's going to be a little bittersweet.
Right. It looks like you've got to tee off.
Yeah. Well, let's you.
You guys want to grade? You guys can grade the swing.
Oh yeah. Well, who's on the camera right now? Is that JT?
Yeah, he tried laying up on a par 4. I'm not sure why he wasn't going for it, but he just duck cooked it in the water. So.
Oh wow!
And that was laying up.
There will be zero tolerance on terror.
Now watch me.
Is there a podcast mulligan? Is there a podcast mulligan?
I wish, but we got some friendly wagers.
Uh-oh.
So Kyle, man, I'm curious. Obviously, I had a chance to play in Philadelphia. Went to college there. I'm curious the perception of Philadelphia before you became a Philly, and the reality of once you actually had that season under your belt. What are the two?
That's a great question, because I told a lot of people that my perception of Philly from being on the visitor side than being on the home side was just completely different. That you go to coming in as a visiting player, that it's a very aggressive place to play, that you're going to get wore out in left field. You just go into the game knowing that, and it's a tough place, just because they're passionate, and they're going to let you know if their team's doing good or if their team's not doing good, right? So that's kind of the impressions that you have. But then when you get there, right, now you're a home player, and you go throughout a whole season and see the way that they are just on a game to game basis, and how they're always there and they're always in tune. And then obviously we get to that postseason and we have that run, and you see the 40-something thousand, 50,000 people there, all just ready to go nuts. And the Braves series was amazing, and obviously the World Series was amazing, and the NLCS was amazing too. But this having that first home experience was in the playoffs was just unbelievable. And it's trust me, it's an atmosphere, and it goes underrated. It's very underrated for the atmosphere.
You experienced Wrigley in October, and you told me that the atmosphere in Philadelphia was the single greatest atmosphere you'd ever played baseball in. How can that be?
Well, I think there was a difference. I can't say that it was, there was different situations, right? Everyone was asking me about 2016, and the difference in the World Series in 2016 was, there was 108 years on the line. And there was a nervous but excited energy, but also a nervous energy that they wanted us to get the job done in Chicago. And we weren't winning. I think we lost 2 games in Chicago. We lost 3 and 4, won 5, 6, 7. And having that nervous energy was just different from when you show up in Philly and they're rocking from the first pitch, and it didn't matter until it was the last pitch, that they were just going the whole game, and they wanted us, they wanted the other team to feel like that they were a presence, that they could not ignore Philly as a home field advantage.
Well, you ripped off 6 wins in a row at home to start the postseason. That also was helpful. I recommend that.
He's hitting out of the rough here.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, it's right side of the green.
Oh, nice. All right.
I'm playing better when I'm talking to you guys. Jeez.
Okay, well, how many holes left?
So sorry, what was that question again?
It's okay. I want to ask you about this. I know you've been in Clearwater for a while because of the WBC. That also means you had a really short off season. Like, I was thinking about this. You played until November the 5th. You're already back in camp. Patrick Mahomes isn't going to play another football game for 6 months. But what's the most challenging thing about having an off season that short?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we'd rather have it this way. That's the best part, is that we're all coming out here and saying that we would rather have this short off season, and besides having that good old 3 months rest and rolling into the WBC. But there are challenges, like you said. We got to get to see pitching. We have to make sure that our bodies are ramped up. But at the end of the day, I think that we're all professionals, and we know what we need to do to get our bodies ready to play, if it's a 9-inning game, or have to go out there and throw 70 pitches, whatever it is, that we're gonna be ready. But yeah, there are gonna be challenges. But I think the best thing is in the best way that we've been looking at, and we talked about yesterday, that this is exciting for us because we're going to be ramping it up early and playing in postseason like games and spring training versus, okay, say the first, week and a half, 2 weeks of spring training, you're trying to really work on one, okay, I'm going to see some pitches here, or I'm going to try to do this off this at bat versus, okay, I'm going in and it's game one. It's time to rock and roll. And the competitive juices are going, and it's playoff like baseball, and that's what we want.
Who recruited you to play for Team USA? How'd that come about?
Yeah, so it was funny. I was just sitting at home, and then all of a sudden I got a phone call, and it was from Tony Regans, and he said, "Hey, Tony Regans from the World Baseball Classic, and he's the USA manager or general manager, and that he was just saying, hey, we'd love to have you be a part of this, and try to bring back another championship." And I was just saying yes, 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 yes. Like that's I wasn't waiting for him to finish. I said absolutely, and you just let me know where I need to be, and I'll be there. Like this is a special honor that it's like that bucket list item, and when you can have that, and you get that call, and you can represent your country in a game that there's so many different countries represented already, which is amazing. And you can go against all these different talents, and they're all going to be teammates. You're going to be teammates with a lot of different guys, a lot of future Hall of Famers. And, this is an experience that you got to be able to take. And I'm just looking forward to having conversations with guys, and obviously getting to compete and play against a lot of different countries. And I think this is a great event for baseball.
We had Adam Wainwright on last week. He already had this vision in his head of, well, we're going to let him hit it.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay. He already had this vision in his head of himself draped in a flag after the USA wins this thing. Have you allowed yourself to go there?
I don't think I've thought that far, but I'm thinking about wearing the USA across our chest, and understanding what that means, and that when you are wearing that, you're representing more than just an organization or yourself. You're representing a whole country, and it's just a great way to show one, your thanks for one, the opportunity we get in baseball in this country, but also to live in one of the obviously we're going through some challenging times, but also it's a pretty dang good country as well.
Well, Kyle, I mean, why don't you tell us and share with that long-standing history you've had? You've done a lot of work in service with first responders, and you've made those connections. I mean, where does that come from?
Yeah, that comes from my dad and my mom. My dad was a police officer for 40 plus years, and my mom was where she met my dad, she was a dispatcher at the police department, and so she was the one answering the calls and things like that, 911, and that's where they met. Then she became a nurse. So I kind of grew up in the blue collar, where mom and dad are in public service, and dad would pick me up every single day from school, and I'd go back to the police department with him while he finished up his day at work. And it's kind of where I got the first clubhouse feel of this is what it's going to be like. This is where you got a bunch of men and women in a clubhouse in an office setting, and they're all giving each other crap, and it's great, right? And so to be honest with you, it was probably going to be something I would have probably leaned toward, where it was going to be, first responder, police, fire, military. My sister was in the military, and that was going to be something that I was looking into, and, baseball didn't work out, but luckily baseball worked out. And now that you have this platform that we're on, that we can shed the good light on the great things that these men and women do every single day to go out there and make sure that, we can go out there and do what we need to do. And that's play baseball and, have fun doing what we do. We play a child's game for a living, while, a lot of these men and women are going out there putting their lives on the line every single day, and being able to recognize their families as well. Not knowing if mom or dad it's going to be the last, see you later or whatever it is. So being able to give those experiences to families, first responders, that's what it's all about.
Awesome. You need to putt?
I'm putting.
Okay.
A little par putt.
He's got that kind of the special putter though.
The long putter.
The long putter.
Little mount putter. Nope.
Oh.
That's a bogey. That's in the hole. But that's something that, for me, it's definitely, for what my mom and dad did for me growing up, my sister, seeing the sacrifices that they made for us to do, me to play baseball, my sister to, ride horses and things like that. It's something that I'm sure there are some families too that are in that line of business that might not be able to provide like that. So to try to just give out experiences and things like that is what it's all about.
That brings to mind something that I really admire about you, which is the way you're tuned into everyone around you, everyone in the room. You're such a leader. When I walk into the clubhouse, I always see teammates gathered around you, or you at somebody else's locker, just connecting with those people around you. And I'm sure some of that came from your mom and dad, but has some of it also, has it always been in your DNA? Were there other players along the way who might have been a role model for you, like a David Ross, or someone who showed you how leaders do what they do?
Yeah, I think it kind of goes even farther, behind that, where obviously mom and dad, right? But also having good people around me in high school. We had a great group of athletes in high school, playing football. We were, I'm a big believer in playing multiple sports in high school, and, being able to play football in high school was a great, lesson for me, to where, being on the defense and you're going to face some adversity and things like that, but also having to get back up and, you just give a big play and you got to get right back out there and try to 3 and out them after that. So having great coaches, Jason Cave, my Uncle Tommy, Jason Krause, I can name them all, back in high school. And then obviously going to college, where the group at Indiana, it was just a special group, and we were all, we all were always around each other. It was like our own little fraternity, and, had a great time there. And then obviously minor leagues, being able to have the Albert Almoras, the Daniel Vogelbachs, Stephen Brunos, guys like that around you. And then getting to the big leagues, and then you walk into that first clubhouse and it's David Ross, it's John Lester, John Lackey, Dexter Fowler, Anthony Rizzo. I can go on for days. Jason Hayward, these guys who have all been there, done that you just sit there and watch, and they kind of, they kind of teach you without teaching you the ways of how to carry yourself in a big league locker room and on the field, and how to prepare and things like that. And, you kind of bring in all these things that, you listen, you hear, and then you kind of just formulate it to yourself. And, I'm not going in there in the locker room saying, I'm going to be this leader, that I'm just being me. And I want to, I've seen a lot of things in the game, at a young age, to where, on top of the mountain, then AAA the next year, non-tendered, 1-year deal, to now being in this situation. So if you can share experiences and you can learn from experiences, that's what this game is about, being able to learn from failures and being able to learn from your successes as well.
So true. Let's spin this forward. Doug and I were talking earlier about all the new rules that are going into effect this spring. We didn't spend much time talking about the shift. So let's ask you, because the projections that I've seen show that you could benefit from this shift ban about as much as any hitter in baseball because of all the hard hit ground ball outs you hit into the shift. I'm curious if you've seen any projections that maybe the Phillies have done for you about how many more hits it could mean, what it could mean for your average, how it might change your life in the batter's box.
All right. Hang on 1 second. I'll answer that.
Yeah.
See if we get a better shot for you guys this time.
Perfect.
Yeah. Straight down the fairway.
Short cam.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Partner go.
So
I think you beat the shift with that one, by the way.
that one would have gone over.
Yeah.
But, I think, well, obviously, I think the shift is going to help. It's going to help averages and things like that. Just with, obviously, you're not going to have you're not going to have the Great Wall out there on the right side. And, so that's going to be great. But, also, too, I think it's going to promote contact, right? It's not going to promote, trying to hit it over the shift anymore. It's going to, you're going to get rewarded for contact now. And, that's something that for me, I want to be able to, be a little bit more aggressive and cut down on the strikeouts to be able to put the ball in play more. So, if I do put the ball in play and it just happens to go on the ground to the right side, that there might be a chance that that's a hit now versus, that's not it. That wasn't a hit in the previous years. So, I think being able to, there's going to be a lot of things for me, one, to be able to improve on this coming into this year, being able to cut down on strikeouts and being able to put the ball in play more. And you might be able to get a little bit more reward for that if it is a ground ball on the right side versus, trying to, you might want to try to hit it over them, or you might want to try to fillet one to the left field.
Yeah. That's a really big topic inside the sport, is whether banning the shift is actually going to change hitter mindsets, where maybe you're not going to see as much of trying to lift the ball. You're not going to see as much of guys trying to pull the ball through the shift. Do you think you're going to have a different mindset because you don't have the Great Wall out there on the right side?
I think the biggest thing for me now is being a little bit more aggressive and, not getting deeper in counts. And I can be a little bit more aggressive now where, for me, I think I got a little bit more of a taking problem than I do have a swing and miss problem where, sometimes I take, too many pitches to where, I can be a little bit more aggressive and not be so picky because I'm trying to, I'm trying to hit a line drive to, fly ball, things like that, to where, now, I can swing a little bit more, but, I'm not going to really change the way that I go about my bats because, at the end of the day, I want to hit the baseball in the barrel where, I'm not this big guy that's going to look into all the advanced stats and things like that, to where, I want to find the most efficient way for me to put the barrel on the ball. And for me, that's going to be staying short, staying tight to the baseball. And now for me to be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, Kyle, I'm curious, we met, during the super regionals when you were playing against Florida State. So
yeah.
Going way back, I'm curious where you stand now. Did you envision being this kind of hitter when you look back at your days in Indiana? Is this how you saw it playing out?
For me, I feel like I still have a lot of room to improve in the hitting aspect, right? That I don't want to be known as just the home run guy, right? Like I want to be known as a hitter and a guy who can, you know what? Yeah, I do hit home runs, but I also hit too. You know, I'm not just a 210 guy with, 30 homers. You know, I'm a, I've always been a guy who can hit. So, I think that's going to be a thing for me moving forward. But, I also tell people at the end of the day, hey, if my career were the end of the day, I'd be damn proud about what I'd done in my career too.
I want to ask you about a ball that you hit that I personally witnessed last October that no shift was going to help anybody catch. This was San Diego last year, game 1 of the NLCS. I don't know if you've heard the call of it. We're going to let you hear it now.
And it is a breaking ball. Schwarber was ready. How far does this go? Second deck. Kyle Schwarber tees off. 2-0 Phillies.
That last at bat that he had when he got that single, it looked quick, short to the ball. It looked like it unlocked something, and he sat on it and crushed it.
119, 120 miles per hour off of the bat. That's one of the hardest hit balls in baseball this year.
Yeah, 120 miles an hour off the bat, 488 feet, second deck, right field, Petco, where no ball had ever been hit in the history of that park. I think I told you last fall, that was the hardest hit baseball ever recorded by StatCast from a left-handed hitter. The hardest ever. So can you describe that? Can you put into words what it's like to hit a baseball 120 miles per hour and have it land where that ball land?
It doesn't feel like anything. I think that's the cool thing, right? That when you hit it, you flushed it because you don't feel nothing. But I mean, I knew I hit it well, but I didn't know I hit it that well. And obviously, home run's a home run, and especially in that stage where, we're in the postseason. You're facing Yu Darvish, who's having a heck of a year, and I love Yu Darvish just as a person and a teammate, and congratulations to him on his extension. But yeah, I didn't. That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know how to explain it to where, it just came off the bat, and obviously I knew I got it, but watching where it hit, I go, ooh, that was hit good.
Did you find the baseball somewhere on the golf course in Clearwater today? Did you find it?
Oh man, that's cute. Yeah, I don't know. I always say home run's a home run, but that one's definitely, I got a lot of cool, got a lot of cool moments, and I'll be up there with it.
Do you have a great memory of something that happened afterwards? Something somebody said? I know you, Darvish, said the next time he saw you, he might have to punch you. And your path did cross during that series. Did he actually throw that punch?
That's why I went out there. I said, "Oh, you're gonna hit me now, huh?" And we got a lot of respect for each other, and we were just talking about that. He goes, "Man, you crushed that ball," and then we just talked about family and friends and things like that. But no, I mean, yeah, everyone just coming in the dugout and you're just screaming and yelling at each other because one, it's a run in the postseason, which is big, but also too just the distance of it. It was pretty cool reactions.
Yeah, is JT there? Because he had some thoughts about that afterwards. We were talking about it.
JT, they want to know what you thought about that home run in San Diego that I hit.
Wow, guys, that was incredible.
I've never personally seen a ball hit that far or that hard. What about you?
I said that immediately as soon as I saw it. I mean, I couldn't believe how far that ball went. When he hit it, I was like, wow, he really got that. And then once it landed, it was just, I've never seen a ball fly that far in that ballpark or anywhere for that matter.
Yeah, I was just telling him hardest hit ball ever measured by StatCast by a left-handed hitter.
I believe that. And it was perfectly backspun. Here we go. We got a driver this time, guys.
Okay.
He's got.
Oh,
what do you think? Oh,
line drive to right, no shift, probably a hit.
See,
not in the second deck though.
This game's so complexing to me that there's a stationary ball, and we can hit balls in the cage wherever we want to off the tee, and then you get in here and you just got a little tiny ball. It should be easy to hit, and you can't hit it where you want it to go. But you know what the best part is? It's where you hit a bad shot. You go, God, give me another ball. I got to hit it again. And then you hit the perfect one. Why can't you just do that the first time?
Golf.
Golf will torment you, man. So wait, you mentioned bucket list, and I'm thinking about last season too, about how the switch kind of flipped for your team. Right now, I know taking over a new coach, new manager, and so on. But what did you see as the sort of tale of two cities last season that you're bringing with you this season to say, okay, I want to get off to a different kind of start as a team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I think the best things, right, is that we had expectations that everyone was expecting us to do something good, right? Like that means you have a pretty good team, right? People are expecting you to do good things, and it's more about the pressure that you put on yourself, and that you don't want to fall into that trap. And I'm not saying that we are putting pressure on ourselves, but I think at the end of the day, where we knew that we weren't getting the results that we wanted to, and just that obviously we want to get off to a great start. That's number one. But obviously with what we've done in the off season to see what we've done now since we made that push in the postseason, and now where we're at. I think it's just more about playing our brand of baseball. Obviously Rob Thompson is a great leader, to where he's a guy that he trusts his players and he trusts the guys that he has, and he's not gonna freak out if we losing streak, or he's not gonna keep patting us pat us too high to where if we're on a great win streak. He wants us to stay the same. He knows the roller coasters throughout the game, and if we can consistently come in with great work and come with a great focus, that's all that we need to do. And at the end of the day, the results will be the results. You can't worry about the future. You can only worry about the present, and you can only worry about your work that you do before the game, because after that, it's all about competing. And we just got to be able to compete at the end of the day. And if we do all those things the right way and we do it the way that we want to do it, there's going to be good things that happen.
I think we need to talk about the NL East. You think there was enough money spent in the NL East? Your team and the Mets alone spent $800 million on free agents. And if you count extensions, Phillies, Mets, Braves guaranteed over $1 billion players this winter. What does that tell you about what life's going to be like in the NL East in 2020?
It means it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be a lot of hard games. And, I think, that's great for baseball, that, this is going to be a really competitive division. And that's what people want to see. People want to see competition. People want to see the rivalries, and people want to see the 95 win plus teams going at it with each other. Right. So that just shows you that the owners here are wanting to go out and they want to win, and it shows, it gives you that little extra fire as a player too, knowing that you do have that support going into the season, and they're going to give you every possible resource that you can to go out there and try to win that game.
Do you like it when the stakes are that high?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why we play. That's why we play the game. Getting the chance, and I got a chance to play in the American League East for just a quick minute, and that was fun baseball. Being able to play NL Central baseball there when the Cubs, Cardinals, and Milwaukee, and even the Reds, and heck, back in 2015 where it was St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and the Cubs, where we were all going at it. Like, that's great baseball. And now, last year, great baseball with the Mets, Atlanta, and Phillies, and everyone kind of sleeps on the Marlins just because they don't end up winning games, but people don't realize how hard fought those games are just with their pitching. And it's it's such a fun division to play in, but it's also it's I'll get a lot of white hairs now just from playing in this division. But it's a lot of fun to play baseball, that kind of brand of baseball in this division where the stakes are going to be high, and we're all going to be pushing to try to get in the postseason and try to win the division.
There's a really fun baseball novel called Veracruz Blues, and there's a quote in it, one of the great quotes. I never forget it, and it goes something like this: "The goal is not to beat Goliath; the goal is to be Goliath." That's the NL East.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of heck of a talent in the NL East, and it's a I think all the teams in the NL East have a lot of respect for each other because we go up against each other all the time, and they're all hard fought games. It's not like it's blowout after blowout after blowout. These are all hard fought games to the end.
Yeah. You played with Trey Turner, who's your new shortstop, and he's an incredibly talented human being. What about him blows you away as a fellow member of the human species?
The fact that he's really skinny and he can hit really far balls, and the way that he runs and the way that he plays defense and the way that he is as a human being, he's just a great dude overall, man. Like, if there's a way to say a perfect fit, that I feel like this guy's going to be the perfect fit for our team with just the personalities that we have in the clubhouse, and what we're trying to do, and obviously the position that he plays and how he's going to fit in the lineup. It's just a perfect match overall. It's really awesome.
How is he going to hit? Who's going to hit leadoff?
Hold on 1 second.
How he does it. He just jumps right in.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's a bad layup, but that's a good question. That's a good question for Rob Thompson. I mean, I for me, I really don't care where I'm going to hit at. As long as I'm hitting in the lineup with these guys and trying to help the team win every day. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And Trey's a heck of a talent, and if he's in the leadoff spot, if he's in the 2-hole, you saw him in the 3-hole in LA. The guy's going to have success. So wherever you put that guy to, he's going to have success as well.
But you're the king of the leadoff home run. You started the freaking season with a home run, right?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I mean, that was that's a moment that goes definitely probably top 3, top 5 for me, just because being in a new city and trying to get the things started off right for yourself, and to be able to put the first ball or your first at bat, put one in the seats. That's a really cool experience for me, and something that I'm never going to forget. But yeah, you know what? If they keep me in the leadoff spot, hey, you know what? I mean, I did have 11 bags last year. No big deal. I could go out these new big bags. Heck, I could go out there for 25, maybe 30. Watch out, Trey.
I know these bags.
Right?
He's lining it up.
Good contact.
Sounded good.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a homer to right center.
Nice.
Great contact, though.
I love having Schwarb Cam. This is a whole new level we've reached.
I'm gonna be getting like Max Homa after this podcast. He's gonna see this. He's gonna see that swing and be like, dude, it looks like you got old man hips and things like that. It's crazy. Like the baseball swing, I can get my hips through no problem. But when it comes to the golf swing and trying to get your hips through, trying to slow down your hips, it's crazy. It's such a crazy game.
So, Kyle, I'm curious do you feel like a veteran at this point in your career? Do you feel like, have you transitioned? Where are you in your career?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know what I am. I've been around. JT says I'm a veteran, so I guess I'm a veteran. But the be in the spot where I'm at, where I played the game, for now parts of what was I guess like 7 seasons since 15. So 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, eight parts of 8 seasons, going into part of 8 seasons. Yeah, you know what, you do kind of feel like that, but I also, I still feel young every single day. And, these being around these young guys, they make me feel young. And we have fun each and every single day. So, I'm just me, man. I just want to go out there. I'm going to have fun. If people want to ask questions, they ask questions. And trust me, I ask a lot of questions too, to a lot of different people, and, try to get better every day. And, but yeah, I guess I'm kind of getting to that older man's part of the stage of baseball, being the veteran.
Got that age starting with a 3. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
All right. I wanted to do a quick lightning round, but if you got a hit, I'll wait till you finish. This would just be it would be 5 quick questions. First thing that pops in your head. But...
I got 5 quick questions. Okay. Let's go.
All right. Thing you missed most about playing in Chicago?
Left center field. Being really short.
Yeah, on a sunny afternoon, right?
With the wind blowing out.
I think you might already have answered this. What your favorite quirk or feature of Wrigley Field?
I won't say left center field. I'll say the bleachers. The bleachers, and just like the whole outfield out there of the ivy, the bleachers, the old school scoreboard. That's a real big perk for me.
Yeah, that's a great slice of baseball life. Weirdest piece of memorabilia you own?
Oh man. I will say memorabilia. Weirdest piece of memorabilia. Yeah. It's a great question, dude. I would say TJ Husmanzada signed helmet.
Really?
Yep. Big Bengals fan here.
I was just going to make that point. All right. Something about Philadelphia that you did not know before you played in Philadelphia?
Man. Man. You really put me on the spot now. Like, that's something.
Sorry about that.
There's a lot of different things, but
yeah.
Man, I will say the zoo. How awesome the zoo is there. The zoo is amazing, actually.
America's oldest zoo? Do I remember that right?
Yes, it is. America's oldest zoo.
Yeah.
It is America's oldest zoo.
Glad you're a happy zoo goer. All right, one more thing. Got to ask this. Favorite cheesesteak spot in Philadelphia?
Oh, man. I think it's Angelo's.
It's a great choice.
Yeah, I think it's Angelo's.
Okay, there's no wrong answer, but that's a great answer.
Or can I say Wawa?
You can say Wawa. Yeah.
No,
Iced tea is great. Iced tea.
Stick with Angelo's. Let's do that. All right, man. This has been so much fun. I hope we helped your golf game.
You guys definitely helped me take some of my mind off some of these shots, but I don't know. I think the bad thing is now is going to be where I'm standing at the end of this and the game that we're playing. So I might be getting a couple more gray hairs after this, but
yeah, it's all our fault.
No, it's not. Trust me. I appreciate you guys and thank you guys for working with me on this. But I hope it was a different experience for everyone, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Made it so much fun. I really appreciate your carving out the time to do it. I'll see you in Clearwater in a few days.
All right, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys. Thanks, Jason.
Thanks so much, Kyle.